I'm going to entitle this video Plasma Orbs with Consciousness. Now, I will be showing you some of the beginnings of pictures that I first took when I noticed this light that had the orbs coming from it that I also could see with the naked eye. And so I have put together an album of pictures with words on them so I'll know what to say when I come to the picture. This is an orb of light coming from a light source, which is a LED light in my room. Okay, I watch through the viewer of my digital camera as this light emerges, sometimes wrinkled as it comes out, and I notice what it becomes when it becomes more round as it gets further out. This orb of light becomes very much like a ribbon as it moves. It begins moving in this manner, tossing, as it were, a part of itself to another orb back and forth according to the movement I make with where I focus my camera. Here you see the right side, seemingly a part of the orb there, but it will cross over and act in this same manner with the orb on the left side. At this stage, it is blended in with both the right and the left. I, the one viewing this through my camera screen, can toss it back and forth and see it also like this. It goes in many directions, playing this little game, and begins to have many colors within it. This is a good example of the colors which often are seen in it. This kind of action develops more and more wrinkles, and the colors begin to amaze me. This action leaves a sort of luminous trail as it moves. It can look like this. Even in this stage, it can become very dramatic in its movement. It seems to behave as if it were wanting to communicate somehow, painting a picture for us of something written in light. Sometimes it moves in a very long way, such as you see here. Sometimes the light orbs fold up like this. I identify them as an orb because they always have these lines on their outer edges. They seem to be crawling as they move about, reproducing themselves. You can see such shape shifting that they do. They can look like this and many other ways as well. They seem to be fluid in their movements. They can also look like a wave. They begin to move about in spiral ways, twisting and turning. They can even look like lace. They can look like this. They look so many ways. One of these has what looks like an S in it. You see that S right there? They can twist like this. They can even make a fan. Sometimes they look like this. It's when they are this round shape that I get so many beautiful colors showing up in the orbs. The colors are just awesome. I get many orbs in my view often. The colors continue to fascinate me. Often there are black holes in an orb. Lots of circles resembling atoms show up in the orbs, also many other things. Pockets of darker colored things show up often. This kind of thing shows up in many places on the orb. They can have many different colors. These bumpy things that stay on the orb, and sometimes streak through like this in a line. The bubbles flow over the side of this orb like paint. You see there how they're falling over the edge. Here the bubbles are very colorful. I often refer to these bubbles as thought bubbles. Often there will be things like this draped over an orb. Sometimes they fan out in the most brilliant colors. This one seems to be full of seeds. Or they will fan out like this, or fan like you see here. The colors can be very fluorescent. Often they show action going on within the orb, like in this one. Often tubes like this are in the orb. This is one of my favorite ones. I like the violet in it. This one looks like there's plants in it. And this is a light creature who shows up many times. I've named him Harry. I see him so often. What could this be? What a twist this one did. Like I have said, they arrange themselves in many poses. The sunlight gives me orbs as well as my LED light. So here are a few I've taken outdoors to show you what the ones from the sun look like. I have to have the sun in a very low part of the sky, just peeping through the leaves of a tree, and then that's when I can get these orb pictures. Now this is a saying from Dr. Wayne Dyer. I don't know if he was a doctor. You may well choose to doubt what others say to you or what you experience with your senses. But banish doubt when it comes to knowing that a universal force of intention designed you and got you here. Don't doubt your creation from a field of energy that's always available to you. I think these orbs are showing up that field of intention. Some might call it the etheric realm. This is a hydrogen atom. This is an actual photograph. I found this on a website, and I thought, my, that looks just like what I get in my orbs. Because there you see, I think I'm getting the hydrogen atom. Lots and lots of them shown in the light, in the space that this orb is showing up. Now here's a picture I took from a website that shows the subatomic particles and how they self-propel. Only this is an artist's rendition. And here is the real thing. My orbs show this self-propelling in them. Now here is a chart that shows the hydrogen orbitals, the wave function of the hydrogen atom. I believe I'm looking at some atomic particles that I'm showing here, the orbital of the hydrogen atom. Now for the string theorists, here's your strings coming out of black holes. Here's your connecting strings. Now here you see a hydrogen orbital and a self-propelling subatomic movement. And there's strings here as well. Things like this sometimes. This one looks like it has a crawl space for something. I am sure that I'm not filming something that is just light refraction common to what others see it as. I see what I film with the naked eye. So it's not just something the camera does, because the naked eye sees it as well, without the use of a piece of glass to get a shiny spot on. Just looking into the light, I see a lot of this that you are seeing in these orbs. I am very excited about this that I have been able to film in light. I began seeing a formation that occurred many times, always seeming to be evolving into something. I called what I saw curved line balls, and there they are. You can see them in this orb, which looks in a way like a cocoon. I'm going to shut the door. Someone came into the house. Have a little privacy here. Now, these curved line balls kept showing up, and I wondered and wondered a lot about them. They often became very colorful. They seemed to begin with what looked like an X. There are several of them in this orb. Over and over, I saw them. They morphed within an orb and blended with other colors till it's kind of hard to even see that that's still what it was once. But it's evolving. But this was them, and what were they? What are these curved line balls? They're even in this. I wanted so much to talk to an expert who might help me figure this out. Now, this is not my picture, but it's one I found on another person's channel. She takes pictures of orbs and veils. And she had captured that same queer little curved line ball part. You can see it where I'm circling right there. And I thought, my goodness, other people are getting this as well. And this is another of her pictures. You can see it perhaps a little better right in here. 3 of the curved line balls coming together. And this is another of her pictures. And so this is what others are seeing as well, and I'm very curious. I studied these for a long time and began to think perhaps I would not be able to find out. But the answer came, and in a most unusual way. Now I know that what I am filming is conscious because of a message that came to me about these curved lined balls. I had a file on my Google Drive which I had entitled The Power of Love. But the day I entitled that, I had lost my inspiration and had not put anything into that file. So it's been over a year now since that message was put into that file. And it was a message to me. I know no one could have known of the things it spoke of, no one but myself. Now, I found this message. I think I lost one of my pictures that makes this story a little short here, so I'll have to explain. One day when I was cleaning up some files, I came across The Power of Love and saw that there was content in it, and it was a message to me. And it was a very wonderful message. And I knew that whoever wrote this in there had to know my innermost thoughts. But when something like this happens to someone, people, your loved ones who know you, look at you with unbelief. It's just too hard for them to imagine. I know I did not write it myself. I will type it again into some pictures of orbs to share with those of you who might be interested. I hope that you believe me. Why? Because this is a very important and wonderful message. You will see. Now I show a few more pictures of the many curved line balls just filling up orbs and spilling over into other orbs. It's a process. I know it is a process of something going on within this. Couldn't find any scientific people that would answer me. Most physicists will tell you it's bugs or dust or water. That could not be what this is. So I'll show you a few until I get to the page where I read you the message. Now, I had taken this picture a long time ago and failed to notice the little X in it. So these curved line balls were showing themselves a long time before I ever noticed that they were. Now here's the message. It was written to me in my Google Drive under a file entitled The Power of Love. I want to say right away that I am willing to get into this only because you have expressed an interest in doing it. I have no agenda but love for you and for all that which is created. I am not a being who has time for taking little trips of fantasy into other realms for the fun of it. I am serious, and I wish that to be known. I have little concern for those who believe not, nor for those who wish to start a new religion of me. I will shut down quickly if I see that occurring. Grace, you are a very good person, and you do not even know it yet. I see you judge yourself as though you were not any good, only maybe just a little bit good. I'm telling you that we need more like you, and if we can accomplish this, all will be healed that is going wrong. I am going to give you a letter of a sorts in which you can address those scientists who would say that the orbs you take pictures of are nothing more than some kind of easily explained phenomena. I am going to ask them to consider how that you are able to see light in the process of bonding itself into the curved lined balls. What the curved line balls are is a process in which matter is being put together. It will manifest for you in due time. It will be all that you want it to be, and if you are not sure what you want, it knows for you that you want something you have asked for many times. It is that which you ask for that is both gold and silver and fruit. It will be accomplished in time, and you will have it for evidence to use it for an example. It will be good to see, for you doubt a lot, and we want you to cease from doubting. I know that it is hard to do, but with the help we will provide, you will be able to do it. To erase all doubt is always the hardest kind of thing for people to do. It requires one to deny what is, and to relax and to know and appreciate. It is just that for us to begin to give you the words that you seem to want is not easy for us because we don't know what you want to understand. Okay, about time. It is a construct as you know it to be, and it is used by God, or all that is, as a way of playing out for those parts of himself all the dramas in which you are presented with themes to test and serve to grow you into a better person. It is going to be constructed a little differently from a point in time that is fast approaching. It will be no longer a long wait until what you believe to be true comes into existence. It is already working that way for many to a certain degree. It will increase, and you will walk in such a state of grace that you will find life to be so pleasant that you are not ever dissatisfied. And that was the end. And so I wait patiently for the most part. I check back in on that file in case there's a longer report for the scientist. I hope that I will be able to bring this about, this thing it spoke of that I wanted to manifest, which was something that I had imagined that were I ever able to bring something out of the invisible, it would be the same thing that I would desire each time I spent time desiring. I didn't want it to be first one thing and then another. I want it to always be the same thing. I thought in my musings, which I never told anyone about, that I would like to see manifest for me a silver tray or bowl, and on that there would be gold apples, each apple being made of pure gold. I have never wanted silver and gold jewelry, as I do not enjoy wearing jewelry, It bugs me. But I wanted this because to me it just seemed to be a very beautiful thing. I'm not someone who I feel others admire, the others I bump into daily. No one around me seems to appreciate the orb pictures I take. I don't blame them at all because I know that it is hard to believe that someone is able to see into light what may be seen in the subatomic zone of life. But it is what I think is happening, and I am beginning to believe in myself more so now. Those who cheer me on are those who view my videos. They might see me as one who has a lot of things going for her, but they would be wrong. I am 72 years old, and it seems that I am running out of energy to walk very far at all. I can't seem to do anything that requires me to bend over and have my head down low to the ground, like tending my flower beds. But I'm not giving up. I believe that my energy level will improve and that I could possibly grow younger somehow. I will share with you something strange that has happened to me as of late. About 3 weeks ago, I started not seeing well out of my left eye. I can see with it dimly, but everything is tinged in the color violet. It's like I were seeing into the ultraviolet spectrum. This makes it hard for me to keep from feeling dizzy. I have gone to 2 different eye doctors, and many pictures of my eyes have been taken. They don't know what it is, but they do know what it is not. There's nothing wrong with my retina. I see better with my right eye than when before, years ago, I needed glasses to see. Only now I don't need glasses at all. They think that perhaps I had a stroke and did not know that I had, that caused this to happen to my left eye. Anyway, pretty soon, I will be able to pull up the pictures they took of my eye onto my computer. They did notice that my lens on my left eye is thinning. There is nothing they can do but wait and see what becomes of this condition. I know that it's hard for people to believe these days. So many people know how to do Photoshop tricks, and I have been fooled before by those who do that. Much is being claimed about what is to come. Some of it seems to conflict. Many people speak of fearful things. They place judgment on people who they think that everything is just love, love, love. They want to tell of all the awful things the cabal can do to us. There are lots of conspiracy theories out there. I used to listen to them, only now not so much. It caused me to become fearful and to feel hate for the wrongdoers. I am beginning to think that we each write our own script. It has always been that way, that we create our reality by the thoughts we think and what we do and say. Anytime we listen to others and believe all that they say is the truth, we have given over our power to them. We have decided to let them do our thinking for us. So nowadays, I listen to those who tell me that I am to trust the guidance I receive within my own self. I may resonate with some of what they say, but it must be that I listen to how it resonates with me. I read many books on my channel. This is from one of them. I resonated with what was said in this book, The Starseed Transmissions. And this orb just looks so much like a scene. And this is words from out of that book. Stardust, frozen starlight, you call it matter. It is an art form with which we have worked for 20 billion years. You know, we don't all of us have the same future, for we are all of us at various stages of awakening. Perhaps we will find ourselves when we pass over living in what it was that we imagined would be the hereafter. In that case, imagine something that you will love. Think about this that is said about the cabal or others like unto them. They say they have to tell you what they are going to do before they do it, like it was a law which they had to obey. I think the real reason that they would have to say first what they are going to do is because they need our belief in their ability to do it. That comes from us when we buy into thinking that way. Perhaps we are helping them accomplish by listening to all of the terrible things that they can do and believing it. One thing that I believe is that we are gods. We don't know we are, so we don't have the power of a god. Even in the Bible, Jesus said, "Know ye not that ye are gods?" And then there's a scripture that says something like, "Whosoever shall say to this mountain, be removed, be thou cast into the sea, and not doubt in his heart, but believe the things he says, he can have whatsoever he says." Jesus said that we would do greater things than he had done. It is not blasphemy to think of yourself as God. There's another verse that I remember, though I don't find myself reading the Bible too much these days. It said, "Let this mind be in you that was also in Christ Jesus, who though he found himself in the form of God, thought it not robbery to be equal to God." I don't go into Bible that much because there is much that I find to be wrong with it, but yet there are some jewels of scriptures. I take from everything I read or hear only that which I resonate with. My feelings about a thing have to be my guiding principle. A few years ago, I received by automatic writing a story I call The Dove Story. I will put a link to it in the description bar. It ended saying that we are to know that our feelings are all that we need to know what is the way. So I will keep my viewers posted on what is happening with my eye. I told the eye specialist that I don't necessarily agree that it is a degenerative thing. Maybe it is something that is evolving. I told him when I see him in 2 weeks that maybe I will be able to see something like Superman with his X-ray vision. Laughingly, I said that, but I meant it. I'm not worried, and I'm trying hard to keep thinking of myself as a good person, like the message said to me that I was. It takes a lot of self-talk and not giving in to feeling bad about not having all the energy I feel I need to have each day. It will come, and I need only keep that in my mind until it's here in the now. I have a better perspective about evil. I don't hate what is called evil. I think it is like the dark. The dark is the shadow that defines the light. I always treat my pictures I take of light with making an adjustment of the light and dark contrast. I use a little touch of darkening when I get them off onto the computer, and all the colors just pop out. I saw a statement the other day that said,